Congratulations, Erica Slezak.
On March 17, Erica Slezak celebrated her 40th anniversary as Victoria Lord Davidson on One Life to Live.
Here's to you, Erica.
Viki? Oh, Tina! Goodness, how nice to see a friendly face. Hi, hon. Hi, listen, I might be leaving town again soon, but I wanted to come by and wish you luck. I mean, not that you're going to need it or anything.
Don't jinx me, please. The judge hasn't rendered a decision yet, you know.
Well, no, but you're the mother, and the mother always gets custody.
Yes, well, that's what everybody tells me. If I do win, I'll be very grateful, particularly to you.
And what did I do?
Well, honey, I know that you left town in order to avoid Herb's subpoena.
Yeah, and that was one of the reasons.
I think if Herb had managed to get you on the stand and talk to you about Nicky Smith, the judge would never have decided that I was a qualified candidate for motherhood, you know.
Well, I'm glad I could help. Listen, Viki. Once you get the good news and everything, maybe we could have a nice long chat, you know, because I could really use a little sisterly advice right now. See, I had this opportunity to start this whole new, brand new life, and I just don't know if I should do it or not.
You know, the people are coming in. I guess it won't be long now.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess it won't be long. Good luck, Viki. Goodbye.
Thank you for coming.
Look, Viki, whatever the judge decides today, I wanted you to know how difficult it was for me to go up there on the stand and give evidence against you.
Come on, you don't have to explain to me.
Yeah, I do, Viki, because Joey, Kevin, and Jessica, they're much more than three little kids to me. They're my brothers and my little sister. They're part of my family, just like Clint is, and just like I consider you to be. I hope the judge can work out some kind of an equal custody here.
Thank you for your kind words, sweetheart. We'll be thinking about you. Thank you. Thank you. Everyone is so sure, so optimistic. Why can't I be the same? What are they saying? I wonder if they know anything. Oh, it's time. Why don't they just get it over with?
Well, Viki, it'll be over soon. Sorry to frighten you.
I have a feeling it's never going to be over.
No. The judge will announce the good news, then we'll get out of this place and go and have a nice, quiet celebration. How's that?
I just want to hold my children in my arms. That's all I want to do.
Too well. Here's Herb Callison. Clint can't be far behind.
Tom, I'm so scared. Oh.
Everything's going to be just fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Guernsey has reached his decision. If you'll just take your places, please. All rise. In the name of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, this court is now declared open. The Honorable Judge Oliver Guernsey now presiding. Cease all conversation. You may be seated. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, George.
Morning.
If the counsels will bear with me for one moment, please.
He looks upset. Is that a bad sign? I think he's just preoccupied trying to straighten his papers out. My anxiety is showing. Viki, I have read a lot of his decisions. They are always intelligent, thoughtful, and compassionate. Whatever he decides, I just want to get it over with now. I cannot stand this waiting and wondering. I want it over with, and I want Clint out of my life.
You see the way the judge looked at me? I didn't see him looking at you at all.
Well, he did. One of those I'm sorry, pal looks. You told me all his decisions were in favor of the mother getting custody.
There have been several exceptions.
Yeah, when the mother was in jail, right? Well, I asked for it when I told him that I would give up the fight and let Viki have custody of Kevin and Joey and Jessica.
He refused. That's why we're here now.
Yeah. Because he wants it to be his decision, not mine. You know, yesterday all this stuff was so clear and so simple. But now, Herb, I start thinking of losing those kids.
In the matter of Buchanan versus Buchanan, both parties have petitioned the court for a no-fault divorce decree. And Mr. Buchanan has petitioned the court for custody of their 3 children. The choices before me were neither obvious nor simple. And the judgment which I rendered was one of the most difficult I faced in my judicial career. It is one which I hope and pray will serve all parties. The spectators will please take their seats.
Oh, I'm very sorry, Your Honor.
Marriage is not simply a contract. It is a relationship in which the public and the Commonwealth share a joint and common interest. It is the foundation for the family and the very basis of a social structure. Marriage is not to be entered into lightly and unadvisedly, but deliberately and reverently. The dissolution of a marriage, otherwise than by death, must similarly also be determined advisedly and deliberately. Now, if a marriage is broken down irretrievably, neither the state nor society can expect those parties to go on living together under circumstances which they find intolerable. Will the plaintiff and the defendant please rise? It is the court's belief that this marriage is not irretrievable, and the petitions for divorce are hereby denied.
I'm afraid he does.
I won't accept it. For heaven's sakes, you can't force me to stay with a man that I don't love, that I don't even remember. You have to object.
Viki.
But if you don't, I will.
Viki, an emotional outburst from you is going to do more harm than good.
I understand the shock and dismay both parties feel, but if you will allow me a minute, I'm hopeful I can dispel some of your dismay. Now, Mrs. Buchanan, your reasons for requesting a divorce are based on the fact that you no longer love your husband. But you have no memory of the last 8 years. You've no memory of meeting Mr. Buchanan, of your marriage, of giving birth to your 2 youngest children. You are dealing with half facts, with no memory of the love that created this marriage, or your daughter Jessica. Now, I've consulted with several psychiatrists, and while there's no guarantee that your memory will return, there is the possibility if you continue psychiatric counseling. I've set a time limit of 6 months for you to seek help. Now, if your memory fails to return by the end of that time, and you and Mr. Buchanan still wish to dissolve your marriage, then I will award a divorce decree.
Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Sanders.
My client and Mr. Buchanan previously and informally agreed to maintain separate living quarters. Are you suggesting that they abandon this agreement?
Oh, no. But with the exception of sharing bed and board, the marital obligations will still continue.
My God, he can't do this.
Your Honor.
Yes, Mrs. Sanders?
May counsel approach the bench, please?
Yes, Mrs. Sanders. We'll take a brief recess, and then I will talk about the issue of the children.
With all due respect to the thought you've given this decision, I must object, Your Honor.
Yes,
Please,
well, we'll discuss that in my chambers.
All rise.
told you the judge wouldn't break up your family.
I know you told me. I didn't think there were any other options.
You have got lots of options. I got a hunch that judge has been reading the Bible along with law books. He's a regular King Solomon, don't you think, Wanda?
I hope this is a first step to a reconciliation.
So do I, but I wouldn't bet the diner on it.
Son, you can't have that attitude. You'll never be able to work things out with Viki.
Oh, from the look on her face, I don't think she's even going to give me a chance.
Clint, she's in shock. Give her time to get used to the idea. I swear she'll come around.
Are you all right, Mrs. Buchanan? Can I get you something?
No, thank you, Kim. Vicky, try to keep an open mind to the judge's decision. 6 months. I feel like I've been handed a prison sentence. But if you hadn't lost your memory, you wouldn't be here in the first place. Maybe the judge just doesn't want you to throw away all the wonderful years that you spent with Clint because you only remember the bad ones.
Vicky, I never thought anyone could win in a proceeding like this. Maybe Judge Guernsey has found a way.
I hope and I pray that Judith gets him to change his mind.
Daddy, I'm really sorry that this happened.
Well, it's all right, honey. It gives Vicky and Clint another chance to work out their problems. It's what I wanted right from the beginning.
Yeah, but before all the trouble started, you weren't in love with Vicky. Now you are. I know how much this is hurting you.
Mary Lynn, that's...
It's okay, Dad. You don't have to pretend with me. I'll be here for you, okay?
Drugs for everything else. Why not amnesia?
Well, there have been drugs used in memory disturbances. Frankly, I agree with the judge in his order to insist on psychotherapy.
I sure hope it works.
Well, at least with a decision like this, they've still got a chance, which is more than they had yesterday, right? Who knows what can happen in 6 months?
Yeah, maybe a reconciliation.
Right.
Of course, some marriages just aren't meant to be.
Yeah, I know that's true, Ma, but Clint and Vicky's marriage was meant to be.
Well, I'm praying that everything works out for the best.
Yeah, me too. Look, why don't we go on outside and get some coffee while we're waiting for the judge's decision on the kids?
You go ahead. I have something to say to Clint.
Can you come with? No, I'll wait. Maria, I don't think now is the right time.
Yes, I think you're right. Thanks, Larry. Well, I guess I'll go and join Kate and Cora.
Well, you look as if you're about to cry.
This whole experience has been so emotionally draining. How can anyone not be affected?
Well, the judge's decision was the best.
All I ever wanted for Clint is the best.
But not for Vicky.
And of course for Vicky, too. I mean, that goes without saying. And now with this new hope for the marriage, it makes me very, very pleased.
Maria, I've known you for years, and I think I know what's going on in your mind now. There's no justification for perjury, but if you lied on the stand out of love for Clint, well, perhaps that's, I don't know, maybe that's understandable. But if you lied out of hatred for Vicky, that's something else.
Everything I said on that stand was the truth and nothing but.
Sure. And everybody knows that those children are the most important part in Vicky's life, and she would never feel that her freedom was more important than Carrington. And the idea that she might rather give up the children than live with Clint is absolutely absurd.
As I said on the stand, Tom, Vicky was very distraught at the time.
As distraught as you were when you intercepted the letter she slipped under my door?
What are you talking about?
There is no other explanation for that letter getting into Clint's hands. It was a desperate attempt at keeping them apart.
How dare you accuse me of these terrible things?
Cannot ignore the facts, Maria. So why don't you back off and let Vicky and Clint have the chance they deserve, huh?
Oh, stop being so damn self-righteous. You've made no secret of your love for Vicky. And you're not any happier about that judge's decision than I am. So don't you dare lecture me, you hypocrite.
Maria, don't you compare us. There's a vast difference there. I am trying to help the both of them, in spite of my feelings.
judge has restored my faith in human nature. Oh, it's a shame we can't get rid of the wolves and the hounds who prey on the weak and the helpless.
Talking about yourself, Asa?
You, my friend, stay the hell away from Viki.
Why don't you give up? You're not going to get to me. Want it?
Asa! The one who started all the trouble. Doing everything in his power to break up Viki and Clint. He even used their illness to worm his way into a life.
And Viki have enough trouble up the road. They don't need any more about Tom.
Whose side are you on?
Clint and Viki. I don't want to take sides. Nobody does.
I don't want to take any side in this situation either.
It's no concern of yours, Ken.
If Miss Buchanan gets custody of the children, I have to stay with her.
Of course you do. The children need you.
Whoever gets custody of the children are going to need you. Viki and Clint know that. You have nothing to worry about.
Thank you.
Now, what are you frowning about?
Oh, I just hope this Judge Guernsey's decision is not just a temporary bandage.
That's the beauty of the judge's decision. It gives Clint time. He can teach Viki to love him all over again.
I don't know. There's been so many angry words, so many recriminations. I hope it's possible, but I'm not sure.
There's a thing called forgiveness. And remember the power of love. Forgiveness, love, and time. With all this going for him, I am sure that Clint can capture Viki's love once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, the court's about to reconvene.
Thank you.
I was unable to persuade him to change his mind. He's firm on the 6-month separation. I'm sorry.
All right. Be seated.
Although the court has preserved this marriage, at least for the time being, there still remains the question of the custody of the children. Now, both parties have made it clear they do not wish to share custody. This is just as well. It would be disruptive to the children's lives and well-being. Therefore, I will award complete custody to one of the parents during this 6-month trial period. By living with a father. Therefore, the court awards custody of the 3 children to Mr. Clint Buchanan. Order. The court advises Mr. Buchanan to work out liberal visitation rights with Mrs. Buchanan. And let me remind the parents that this applies only for 6 months. When a case comes up for review again, custody arrangements will be re-evaluated. Mrs. Buchanan, are you listening?
Yes.
I think you know that your children will be in capable and loving hands during this time. And so that there's no misunderstanding, let the record show that I do not consider Mrs. Buchanan's amnesia an impediment to her abilities to take care of her 2 sons and daughter. However, this 6 months will give her the time and flexibility that she needs to get proper treatment and to make sure her efforts will restore her memory. The court also hopes that both parties will be able to get over these difficulties within the coming months. And I would personally like to wish you Godspeed. The court has now adjourned.
All right.
Oh, my God. What's happening? Viki, you all right? Here, drink this. the shock?
The judge, knew that Viki was unstable. I mean, he really didn't have a choice. The children belong with you.
Yeah, well, Vicky's going to be under the gun for the next 6 months.
Considering the circumstances, I think it was a wise decision.
Did a good job. Pleading Clint's case, mighty good. Oh, your mother wasn't bad at all. She's a smart lady.
Yeah, I'm just sorry someone had to lose.
Well, Herb, you got us what we wanted.
But was it worth the price?
Herb? Look, Clint, maybe now you and Viki can put aside some of the anger and the bitterness and work something out.
Will that be possible, so long as Viki can't remember for loving you?
I don't know. I sure intend to try.
Well, if there's anything I can do to help you, know I will, Clint.
We all will, Clint. We want the best for both of you.
Yes,
Thanks.
yes, we do.
Thanks.
Come on.
Daddy, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine, but Vicky's not.
How could she be? She just lost her children. Excuse me for a little while, okay?
Excuse me, what? Vicky.
Glad you're here.
You all right?
It's very difficult not to cry. And I don't want Clint to see me crying.
Don't you worry about Clint. You do whatever you want to do.
Will you tell her I'm so damn sorry about all this?
Well, thank you for your help.
It's all right, Clint.
And you, Herb, you're a hell of a lawyer. I appreciate everything you did.
I'm glad it ended up right for you, Clint.
I need to talk to Viki.
Yeah.
Good luck. You've got to force yourself to go on and see this in a positive light. 6 months from now, we'll petition the court to reevaluate the custody decision.
Excuse me. I'd like to speak to Viki alone, if I may.
I think that's an excellent idea. Is it necessary?
It is to me. Do you mind?
No, Tom.
You okay?
Congratulations.
Viki.
I mean it. You took me to court and you won. You must feel very vindicated.
All I feel right now is hopeful. The judge gave us 6 months. And as far as I'm concerned, that's 6 months of hope that I didn't have yesterday. Okay, you don't want to talk about hope. I can understand that.
What do you want from me?
I wanted you to know that I'm sorry. I know you're hurting, Viki, and I wish it didn't have to be this way. I also want you to know that you can see the kids whenever you want to. You don't have to call or make arrangements. I won't be putting any restrictions on your visits.
Thank you.
I'm probably not saying this very well, but I want you to be a part of their life. You are their mother, and they need you.
Viki, everyone left. You don't have to face any more reporters. You can go ahead. I'd like to be alone for a minute.
I'll wait for you.
No, I'll be all right.
Vicky, it's time to go.
as if this is all some horrible nightmare. But I don't know what I'm going to do when I walk out the door and I find out I'm not asleep.
Viki, you're just going to have to take a step at a time and hold on to the fact that you are going to get those children back.
But for now, how do I look into their faces? How do I look at those sweet faces and say goodbye?
You smile, Viki. You smile so that they're not sad, and you keep in mind that it is not forever. It's only for a little while until you get your memory back.
You keep saying that.
Viki, honey, you cannot give in to despair. Look, I will take you to the doctor regularly. I'll stand by you whenever you need me, but you have got to fight. You understand that? Viki, promise me, please. Promise me you will not give in. Please.
I will try. But I don't know if I can live through this.
Okay. Come on, Viki. Please.